Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakthrough Moment podcast, where we interview successful entrepreneurs and investors and ask them, what is your biggest breakthrough moment in your career? And as they share breakthroughs with us at home can have breakthroughs as well. Today's special guest is AJ. Are you there, AJ?
Hello. Hi, Jack. I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Excellent. I'm excited. Look, the more that I get to know you, the more and more excited I am to introduce you to everybody. Let me do a quick little introduction and we'll dive straight into this. So today's all about AI. For those of you who do not know AJ, AJ is a director of AI at Precite, part of Abu Dhabi's G40 group, where he's working on AI at a national scale. He's also the founder of a platform dedicated to helping leaders understand why responsible AI is the ultimate competitive advantage, not a compliance checklist. He's spent over 15 years across global giants like Nokia, Samsung, American Express. And what he's really focusing on at the moment is helping people move fast in business, but build things that last. Move fast, but build things that last. And so without further ado, AJ, thanks for joining us. What has been your biggest breakthrough moment in your career thus far?
Thanks for having me on this podcast, Jack. And I'm really excited to talk to your audience. And when you ask the breakthrough moment in my career, that reminds me one exact moment. Like a couple of years ago, I went to my home on vacation, and suddenly I found that my father was reading some books. And That time I thought, okay, this might be just a normal thing. And then I realized those were not just the normal books. Or maybe elderly person might be reading for the curiosity. He was actually reading some academic books, and I was quite shocked. I was surprised, and I asked, "What are you doing?" And the answer actually really blown my mind. He said, now since I'm kind of at the retiring stage, now you guys are settled. Now I have a lot more time. So I'm thinking to start my graduation studies. And that time he was 62, and that like he don't need to any kind of credential. He don't need to gain any sort of certification or anything. But this was just a kind of question in my mind. Why exactly, what do you want? So he that time he didn't explain. He said, yeah, I just want to have one more, just like graduation. And that time I didn't had this opportunity, and I was busy in doing business and growing you guys. Now I have the time. I didn't realize that what is happening. But later, um, when I saw during my career, what he was trying to teach me, that success is not just about the speed, just learning one thing and moving ahead, but it was all about building things or maybe doing something that last. Okay, so same way, like it is not the education is not just for having a degree or just learning something to gain some credentials, but it is the thing that changes the way you look at the things, right? The way you drive your life, right? So that strikes me, and that actually gave me some confidence, that it is in my day-to-day life. When I'm doing any project, I'm just going ahead with any sort of a development, deployment, etc. Right? I don't need to just rush. I need to think carefully for the long-term goal. What kind of values I'm going to deliver? How things are going to impact people, whether this is right or not. And that becomes my, I would say, a mantra for or the lens for looking into the AI, that while everyone is racing to just deploy, just do something so that they can showcase that, okay, they are also using AI. But uh, what I'm looking is building things that last long, right? That is making a more impact. And then this mantra actually helped me in when I was working in American Express, worked on the project called Mars, where we were talking about revenue recovery or While everyone was talking about shipping fast, what I was focusing on whether we are shipping right or not. And this is continued since then. Even nowadays, I'm doing practicing the same thing. Every decision is going through the same checklist. Whatever we are doing, how is it going to impact the people?
Based on what you've seen so far, what are some of the biggest problems that people are creating because of AI? I've seen people do some copyright things with music, and they're kind of, maybe crossing a line there with copyright, whether it's like students using AI to help them with their essays and homework and things like that, that could be copyrighted. Like, what are some big picture things that we really need to be, I guess, challenge or question that could lead into big problems down the track regarding AI? A quick pause before we continue. Hey, everybody, please, if you're enjoying this podcast, if it's allowing you to think differently and have your own breakthrough moment too, please subscribe. Please like this video, share it with somebody else, and even comment below. I'd love to know what has been your biggest breakthrough moment listening to today. I read all the comments, and your responses help me shape the future of this podcast so other people can have breakthroughs too. All right, let's get back to it.
Yeah. So when it comes to actually using AI, everyone has different perception, right? So if you talk to the end customer, like who are not aware of AI and how it functions, etc., for them it is about helping them in day-to-day work. Increasing their productivity. When it comes to the people maybe in the technical sector, so that's where they are looking AI through the different lens. How can they increase their productivity by delivering more? Leaders are looking how they can have more revenue generated by using these AI tools. So everyone has their different lens uh, of looking at AI, but the real challenge is um, that how to use this AI tools effectively, because the same tool can produce different results when used in different way, right? So that is the big challenge right now. Our expectation has grown, so the way you are writing your essays might be completely different. That's where you have high tolerance of the error, because you are not just sending that letter or sending that submitting that work or sending your email for any decision making. So you have the high tolerance for the error. But on the other hand, when these things are getting used in corporate or maybe decision making systems, your tolerance becomes much lesser. You can't just take decision based on what AI is producing. At least at this stage, we are not yet there. So this is little bit challenging. The people, when using AI on their mobile device, we are seeing the amazing things. But when we use in the enterprise settings, the results are different because the expectations or the error tolerance levels are different. And that's where there is little bit discomfort, because one side they are seeing the high productivity, on the other side they think that this is a blocker, but it is not. It is just about looking things how you have to use these tools for what purpose, whether we are using these tools at the right place with the right kind of use cases or not.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm noticing as I'm using AI every day, like it's changing everything we do. Even in the podcast, this software creates the content on the back end of doing the podcast. It just speeds up everything. It's really exciting, but also like, whoa, like the vision has like changed, right? It's possible to reach new levels of success faster than ever before, not just in content creation, but in, other areas of business. And I'm really fascinated by, like, because of your experience going from that lesson that you had with your dad, figuring out that, yeah, the long-term values, the long-term vision is so important to have up front and to make sure we don't ruin the long-term success. It takes a lifetime to build a reputation, but one day to ruin a reputation, so to speak, as well. And so how are you using AI personally? What are some tips or tricks or strategies that you're seeing in your own personal business that help you with AI at the moment? Just quickly before we continue, if you're an entrepreneur out there or a high performer who wants more clarity and direction in life, or maybe you're going through some kind of turbulent transitional phase, I want to share with you something that I co built. It's called the Life Blueprint System. It's an AI powered goal setting process that helps you create a personalized life blueprint, kind of like an architectural plan or a business plan, but for your life. And so it allows you to take and capture those big ideas, those amazing thoughts you have, and to turn it into a proven plan of action. And so if you want to stop guessing and start building your future intentionally and consciously, go to the lifeblueprint.io to learn more. Let's go back to the episode.
Yeah. As I said, like we have the AI uses everywhere, like in personal life or in the professional life, in the development, in the strategy, each and every phase of our life, since morning till the evening, we are using AI in some or the other form. Okay, now for me it is more about kind of making sure when we are using AI we are not using it incorrectly. Okay, that's the main thing I'm always looking at. I see vibe coding, let's say one example where you can just write the say in your description in the textual form and you can generate lots of code. Okay, that's somewhere we are talking about the productivity gain of the developers. But what about the students, right? So I'm seeing this lot of kids, uh, students, they are using AI for their research, which is perfect. But the thing is they need to understand the results that they are getting is not something validated, or they should not be consuming them as it is. The how it has changed from the Google era with as compared to this generative AI era is when you are searching something, you are putting your mind, you are getting results through the Google, you are exploring a number of links which you are getting as the result. Though Google does the ranking, but still you are exploring them, you are putting your mind. The problem happens when you with the generative AI or these LLMs is now when you are asking, somehow we are getting used to of believing what we are getting in as the response. This is where the real problem or the real challenge is. And I always ask, okay, this is not something that you, because we all know these large language models or the Gen AI models, they are um, uh, kind of very convincing when they do hallucination, right? So they will speak the language that you are speaking to them, right? So if you are convinced with something and if you are asking, you will get back the answer in the same language very convincingly, right? Should we accept it as it is? No. So this is where I'm trying to in like full day when I'm talking to different business leaders, even the developers, my peers, colleagues. This is the one thing I always tell them. We use the AI in each and every phase, but how we are consuming them, that's something we have to still learn.
Important. I'm curious, for other entrepreneurs out there, right? Maybe they're starting to use, well, everyone definitely in business should be using AI right now. But if you could give them some advice, some a way of looking at AI or a new belief system or some kind of way of like preparing themselves to make sure that they're setting themselves up for this long-term growth with AI, what wisdom would you impart on entrepreneurs out there who are really wanting to make the most of AI and long term in the right way?
Okay, thanks. This is really an interesting question and very close to my heart because in my sessions at Stanford Seed Lead or Release and otherwise, like in the various mentoring sessions, I to the entrepreneurs, I always speak about this differentiator. Okay, and the differentiator is now changing in the AI era. Okay, so it is not just about the feature anymore. Features are easy to copy. So if there is any competitor, they can just learn about what you are doing. If you are getting success, they can easily copy your features. They can just build maybe better than what you are doing. So in the AI era, when the same AI is available to everyone. Now AI is, we are talking about the democratization of the AI. So you don't need to have your own AI system built. You are not training those AI models for just for yourself, which was the case 5 years ago. If you have the credit card, just put the credit card in OpenAI, ChatGPT, Gemini here and all. You have the AI available for your consumption, whatever product you are building, right? So everyone has the same capability available. So AI, having AI in your product is not making you different. What is making you different is trustworthy AI. That's the real moat. Trust is your real moat, right? Can you make sure that the users are believing what you are providing them? That is the differentiating factor. And here is the story. I think you might have heard about the Zillow. Zillow closed their the AI powered housing search platform, right? So they closed their business. They were trying to predict the housing price, etc. And what they didn't had was like they had very good sophisticated system which was just predicting the house price, etc. On the other hand, there is another story of Kareem, right? So the Kareem is the like this cab or the transporting application. Kareem got acquired in 2022 by um, Uber. It's right. So they also have this same type of system. So you are looking for the optimized ride, fare calculation, etc. They got the biggest acquisition in the UAE history, 3.1 billion, right? On the other hand, we saw the similar kind of sophisticated algorithm Zillow was having. They lost nearly 500 million. More than 2,000 people got fired, right? The same AI, the same kind of system, it's all predictive algorithms, it's all optimizations. But these are the two different stories. One where people lost job, millions of dollars got lost. Another side, there is lot of profit. Now, what was the difference when uh, Kareem is what Kareem did good was like they from onboarding to the pilots to their system to the customers, right? Each and every step they did this trust decision making in their system building, right? So that how these fares are getting calculated, how this peak time pricing are getting varied, right? All these things are completely transparent and visible to the pilots, and the customers are getting charged fairly. They know why they are getting charged more or less, right? This is the trust system that they built, right? And that made the huge difference, right? So in the current time when everyone has the same kind of AI available, this is where we have to make sure when we are giving any system to our clients, they know exactly what they are getting, how these decisions are getting made, how are they going to impact them, right? If they can trust, they will come to your system. Otherwise, there are so many alternatives to the same problem.
That is a really good point. I'm really glad you brought that up because it is like, what is the defining factor? As everyone is now going to be using AI to produce and build and deliver their product at a new level of efficiency and accuracy. But yeah, how can we trust your company versus your company, your company? So how does a company do that? How can they be transparent about that? Is there a certain way of going about communicating that to their customers? Is there a certain guidelines? Is there like a certification? Like, I think of food. It's got organic stamp of approval or biodynamic or
Yeah.
Is there a way that that's credited or supported within the AI industry at the moment? Pause before we continue. The first way we as entrepreneurs introduce ourselves when we walk into a room, it's our energy, right? People feel that. And secondly, it's our face. How healthy do we look? So for the entrepreneurs out there who care about how they show up, I'd love to share with you personally. I've been utilizing some Korean skincare products now just for over a month, and I had no idea about them up until, even just 2 months ago. But it's by far one of the best investments I've made for my skin. I feel it's literally making me look younger, and it has this like glassy, super fresh look. And so this is the number one exported Korean beauty brand and skincare line in the world. The ingredients are second to none. Even pregnant women can utilize them, because out there's so many products that have toxins in them that really make our face not healthy over a long period of time. And so if you're out there and you want to match the energy that you output with how healthy you look, you can trial these products risk-free for 30 days. If you don't like them, send them back and get all your money back. If you're out there, if you're curious, check out the link below to learn. Let's get back to the episode.
Yeah. That brought to maybe very burning question these days. People talk about the AI regulation, compliance, etc. And when we talk about these like heavy terminology, compliance, regulations, then it becomes like kind of burden. People start thinking, okay, if we go that route, maybe we are going to slow down, right? Things will not move as fast as we need. And the Silicon Valley mantra is um, move fast, build fast, fail fast, right? That's the mantra, right? But this is not the case anymore when there are like four different people building the same thing. They are using everything same, and this is where we are talking about the trust premium, right? How you can leverage this trust premium, right? So for that, I just like I wrote this like MVG framework, minimal viable governance framework. So what viable governance framework is? It is about just like the four simple step, right? And this is specifically useful for entrepreneurs who are just starting, who are just building their platform or application or any product which is using AI. So how they can still build that trust is just like a simple governance, self-governing framework, right? Until we have these compliance, which is mandatory right now. This is like in EU is playing some role. Some other countries like American, US has their own AI governance framework. So everyone has. There is no standard as of now. But still, in that scenario, what these entrepreneurs can do is they can follow this MVG framework. And what this MVG framework, minimal viable governance framework, says is number one, you make your kind of guiding principle, right? What you are going to do, what you are not going to do, right? It's just a simple your North Star. You can just create a Google doc or something. You just write down your principles. Okay, we will build this X type of system. We will not build this type of systems, right? Because these things will basically guide your development journey. It will guide your overall product development, right? How you are going to take this. Now, once you have these guiding principle, then the next thing is you need to um, check what kind of AI models or AI services though you are going to use. Not necessarily that you are building everything in house. Maybe even you are using some third party. It's very simple, right? You map those models or AI services, create one simple Excel sheet, write down, okay, I'm using this AI service. Now, for this AI service, the data was collected from here. These are the limitations. These are the specific use cases. This is the version. So you just create your inventory, right? Where you are documenting that what kind of tools you are using, how are they, how are they built, where was the data collected, right? All that in one simple page. or maybe Excel sheet. Then you just define some metric, right? That's the measure step. So you define the metric, like what is the bias rate, what is the accuracy threshold, what is the your incidence response time if something happened, etc., etc. So this is your just a simple guidelines. Okay, and then you create a kind of managing guidelines, right? What happens if something is failing, right? So who will be responsible? You have this catalog, or maybe you like each and every where each and every decision is getting documented, right? Because sometimes for the business constraint, you might be moving ahead with something even though you know the harms, or that there might be some impact, but you are taking that risk, but you have to document that so that later when things are need investigation, you have those evidence in what circumstances you have taken this decision, right? So if you have this everything documented, this is what it's all about, the governance, right? You know your system, you know what you are going to build, what you are going to deliver, how these things might impact, and if there is any impact, what remediation action you are going to take. So this is all about building when you are building a product or something. um, to the client, the explainability is one key thing. Whatever decisions AI is taking, the clients, the consumers, they should know that this decision is not something deterministic. This decision is taken by the AI, and it should be explicitly told to the user. Okay, the result, the recommendation that you are seeing is generated by AI. And lot of trusted applications are doing so, right? When you are generating, when you are writing something, there is always a disclaimer: this is generated by AI, please use that carefully, right? If can you explain little bit more, right? So if you are uh, predicting maybe or forecasting something, you can explain, okay, this forecast is done using these things, right? Maybe using your behavioral data, or maybe using your last purchase, so that I know how these things are coming to me based on what, right? And that creates the trust. When I see that transparency in the system, I know how things are getting generated. I will have more belief in your system. And this is all about trust, right? Trust is tightly coupled with this transparency. So more transparent you are with the customer, more trust they will have. And you should always have some action plan, right? Okay, if something is going to happen, what am I going to do? And this is like the simple thing, right? The trust is really really difficult to um, uh, if it is broken, you can't just fill that gap, right? If you have the buggy code, if some system is failed because of some error, it's not a big deal. Yeah, you might take few hours of system downtime and you can recover that. But if the trust is broken, there is no recovery. It's not easy. It's not There is no recovery, by the way, right? Because there are so many alternatives.
That's a brilliant, a brilliant insight into a brand new world of building trust within AI that I never even thought about. Is this something that's like, on a website has like terms and conditions, privacy statement? Is there going to be like an AI guideline section on a website? Is this public facing, or is this just behind the scenes for the corporate team and whatnot?
So yeah. So the as we say, the more transparent you are, it is going to get you more trust. So lot of good or the popular AI product, or maybe the trusted AI products are doing so. So it is better if you can publish, okay, on your website, that okay, well, if you have built this system, what kind of data is used behind this, right? How this data was collected, how these models are trained, uh, how are they tested, right? If you can publish all these things, then this is like for everyone to do the auditing, right? You are exposing yourself, you are telling, okay, I'm open for the discussion, what I have done, right? This is the complete transparency. And this is when you are transparent with your customers, you are opening to your peers, you are opening to for the evaluation, the trust is coming by default.
Makes a lot of sense. So let's change gears for a second. This has been super insightful. And, I'll put all of your links on how people can get in touch with you and things like that around this video for everyone that's watching. But I want to know if you could go back in time to the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey and change one thing, do something different. Like, what would you do differently if you could go back before you started your entrepreneurial journey and change one thing?
Yeah. So if I think like 10 years or 15 years ago, when I was primarily working as a developer and senior developer, etc., right? So every developer has this kind of mindset, right? How quickly we can do things, right? How quickly we can ship, and we are all excited. And then, especially if you see the people doing hands-on things, they are very, very passionate about, okay, what new I'm doing, how quickly I'm going to deliver this, right? So that is always the mentality, and in that mentality, we are kind of not asking the questions, or maybe we are forgetting that this is going to impact the real people, right? And we are ignoring the human side of the system, right? And that's where we these days, you might have heard this coin, human centric development, or human centric AI design, right? So all that is coming. So if I see myself like 10 years ago, this was the thing. The speed was the primary parameter for me. And what has changed is now, and this is what I recommend everyone is to do the family test. Okay, and what the family test is, whatever you are building, can you use that for yourself? Can you use that for your family? If I'm building some AI system, um, maybe for financial decision making, can I use this for myself or for my family? If I'm building any AI system for education sector, can I use that for my children's, right? If the answer is no, or if there is a hesitation, okay, it's clear. What am I going to do, right? So it's a very simple test. It's a family test. You just think about, can I use it for personally or for my family? And you will get the answer. So speed was the earlier scenario. Now for me, it is everything is about how well we can connect as a human with our customer, with the end user, and make sure that whatever we are building for them, it is also for us.
Is awesome. The family test to make sure that it's a self-governing protocol, right? Yes, it's important to have your MVG um, guidelines for your managing the guidelines for product facing, but also, yeah, check in with yourself, and that's super super important. This is a premise that's really obvious now. The more that I interview podcast guests here, I'm learning that there is a level of intentionality behind business. That if people slow down, right, the slow way is actually the fast way, similar to what you said. And we got to do things right from the beginning. Check it in with the family. If we're not able to be proud and have zero guilt sharing it with our family, then that's a good start. And then, put everything in place, all the parts of business for a long term vision. And I think a lot of people start business, especially now, they're thinking AI will help me get rich quick, right? It's going to help me do everything. I can build $1 billion company from, my couch at home. But I think maybe that's possible, but at the same time, put the right pieces of the puzzle in place to make sure that, business actually takes 5 years to be successful. Most businesses fail, So what needs to happen to set ourselves up for success? But as you're planning from the idealization phase and planning out, the beginning and marketing and everything like that needs to be done right. So,
Yeah.
how can
Way
people get
sure.
in?
You get kind of exponential growth. Definitely AI is make enabling you to build things fast, do things quickly, increase your productivity, but this is a two-way a two-edged sword, right? If things are going wrong, then you might fall immediately, right? So care, trust, believe what you are doing, and that's ultimate differentiator.
Super cool. Um, Before I ask my favorite and final question, AJ, how can people get in touch with you and who do you help the most? Who is your perfect customer or who is it that you really support within your business?
Yeah. So I work in the I work for the Precite G42 company. Okay, and here we are working in different verticals. We are working in the finance domain, energy sector, government sector, and the smart nation. Right. So we are working with the government entities, private entities like enterprise. So you can easily find me on LinkedIn. That's like the quick and well-known place to get connected. Personally, I do a lot of mentorship, especially for the entrepreneurs who are AI focused. So they can get in touch with me again on the LinkedIn or maybe via my website aiexponent.com. I'm providing the guidance, mentorship, and also taking the classes in through the Stanford Lisa, Seed, and the One League, and there are other several platforms, including the AI Exponent. So they are like you are welcome through my LinkedIn connection or maybe through my website.
Perfect. I'll put your links around the video. Everyone at home, please get in touch with AJ if you're looking for what he's offering today. My final question is if you could challenge the audience, right? Today they're listening to this and they want to know how can they stretch themselves to another level of insight into AI or business or entrepreneurship or long-term vision. If you could challenge them for this week, this quarter, this year, what would that challenge be?
So, what I would ask everyone to, all your audience who wants to use AI or who are actually using AI, building any application or product or the platform for their company. So, what I want them is to just take a break, take some moment, think about whatever they are doing, right? Do a simple family test, right? That's number one. I always ask, think about what you are building. Is it going to help or is it going to create more trouble, right? How is it going to impact? That's a simple thing I always ask, right? That's the first test. Second thing is do the self governance. So when through the MVG framework, you don't need big regulatory or the compliance framework to follow. You just need 30 minutes a week. That's it. You don't need a big time, right? You have to write down on a piece of paper or a Google Doc what you want to do, what kind of systems or the AI services you are using, where they can fail, and if they are going to fail, how am I going to fix? It's a simple thing, and just publish it, right? Or maybe just share with your client, okay, we are maintaining, we are taking care of you, we whatever we are giving to you, we are taking care of you. There is nothing like going, we are controlling, nothing out of control. That will increase the customer trust, and trust is the ultimate goal, or that is the competitive mode for 2026 and beyond. That's the main message I just want to convey to your listeners.
Super cool. It's important. All this is so, so important. Coming at the emergence of AI with a grounded, steady, level headed, logical approach for not just success in our own business, but also success as a community, as a country, as a world. We really need to do this together. I think the more that we have conversations unpacking what this looks like long term now, the more we can set us all of ourselves, we can set ourselves up for success, and to hopefully robots don't take over the whole existence of mankind and take us out like Terminator in the movies.
Not in near future.
Good stuff. Well, amazing. If you're listening at home, if you had value from today, please comment below what was your breakthrough moment. Please like, subscribe to the channel, and share this with somebody else. Who do you know who's in AI that needs to listen to this today? AJ, thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks for having me, and it was really pleasure talking to you. And I believe uh, this podcast is going to help each and every entrepreneur, the business leaders who are listening your podcast, and I believe they are going to build the system that are not going to last like just few years, but forever. That's what I'm always hoping everyone should do.
Yes, for sure. Again, thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for listening,
Thank
everybody.